Grab your popcorn, rip that ticket, get in that seat, lickety splicket. Go watch a movie. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 155. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Today, we are doing a long-awaited sequel. I've been waiting on this sequel for a while now, to The Train to Busan. The Train to Busan presents Peninsula. And yeah, but before we get into that, let's get into a little bit of entertainment news. It's in a good way, I guess, here in the States. The entertainment news has been pretty much vote. But by the time you hear this, hopefully, fingers crossed, we will know who our president is. We'll see. But we still have a little bit of news here. Remember that old shitty movie based off the great video games, Assassin's Creed?
I do.
Well, Netflix is turning that into a live action TV series. I think it will be better that way because they can flesh it out more. They won't have to try to shove 2 hours of this complex story or this complex story into 2 hours. Mm-hmm. We'll see, but I think it'll work a lot better. What do you think from what you know of that movie?
Well, based on the movie, yeah, I think it's going to be better. So that, but I'm not overly excited for it. I mean, I'll check it out. It might be good, but
I love the idea of that. Like, I'm a big fan of the games. The idea that, because you start off not knowing that you're in that machine, so you're just this assassin going around doing these things. And then the next thing you know, you wake up in this laboratory and you find out you're an experiment. I just love that concept. I think is great. So hopefully we can get a couple good seasons out of this. We'll see. I'm not holding my breath, but I mean, if you can't do it with Michael Fassbender, who is an amazing actor, I guess maybe we shouldn't hold our breath. Mm-hmm. Next up, Jordan Peele, man, becoming one of my favorite horror directors and creators, is doing one of my old favorites as a kid. People Under the Stairs remake.
See, I'm a pretty big fan of the original, so I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like that one just captures everything. It's not just because AJ Langer's in it. I love me some AJ Langer, but
AJ Langer.
Yeah, and she's royalty now. I didn't know she was married.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know. Again, I guess I'm so fond of that particular actress in that particular movie that I don't know how I'm going to probably have negative feelings no matter what.
Yeah. And it was just like a fun horror movie. Like but he has this, and not that it's a bad thing, but he likes to make statements with his movies as well as making them entertainment. Mm-hmm. So I think that will hurt this particular film.
Yeah, I think that's one of the appeals from the original. Is just it's fun. It's not necessarily, So if he's gonna go and make it all serious, then it might take away from something. I don't know.
And I like the way it starts out. If you guys haven't seen People on the Stairs, go watch that movie. It's fantastic. If you can find it, it's an older one, but Vin Rames, they're trying to rob this house, and then it just becomes so much more. Mm-hmm. which I love that concept. But yeah, that'll bring us to let's discuss the showbiz. Now, this is just pretty much me ranting. So Mulan, Disney did its whole little thing. Disney Plus did its whole little thing, releasing it on there for $30. Well, these people are double dipping.
Uh-oh.
Now it's on all the all the pay per streaming services for $30 as well. So it's like, okay, now you don't have a subscription, but it's still $30.
Yeah.
Disney. I get it. These are hard times for everybody. The mouse needs some cake, but still. Yeah. But yeah, that's just a small rant for that. Let's get into trailers. You first or me, sir?
Oh, you go right ahead.
All right. Now, bear with me here because I think I did this before, but it popped back up because it's about time for it to come out. I think it's going to hit digital platforms on the 13th of this month. I'm doing Fat Man, and this is starring Mr. Mel Gibson himself. Now, he is basically playing Santa Claus, but it's not like jolly Christmassy. It's like you're watching Payback with Santa Claus instead of the guy Mel played before. So he is like, he's getting fed up. He actually, in the beginning of the trailer, he got shot at by some kids. He's like, they put two in the sled and one went in my leg and that sort of thing. In his grumbly Mel Gibson old man voice. And the government needs his help to take down some criminals because he knows everybody. Of course, he's Santa Claus. Of course, he knows everyone. But they enlist him. But at the same time, he sends a kid a lump of coal. And this kid is so pissed off, he's hiring a hitman to kill Santa Claus. So it has elements of like fun, but at the same time, it has these, like I said, payback vibes. So I'm a little just confused. Have you seen this trailer?
I'm about to.
So like he is basically doing battle with this hitman while working for the government, and like there's a scene where the hitman's out at the what is his jolly fun place called? The North Pole, like waiting for Santa. And Santa's like, you think you're the first one? How you think I started this job? Which I don't quite get, but apparently Hitmen have been after Santa for years. I don't know. But it looks awesome. Check out this trailer, Fat Man. But regardless of what you think of Mel Gibson, this is a concept I've never heard before, and it just looks awesome.
Yeah, it sounds ridiculous, but I think if we can get past the ridiculousness, maybe this isn't going to be so bad. Or maybe that's what's going to make it good. I don't know.
This Christmas, Santa's coming for you.
Now I want to see it just because of your description. All right, so I struggled finding one that I liked, that I wanted to talk about, but I found one that I'm confused about. So I'm going to talk about it instead. So my trailer is Girl, and it's got Bella Thorne in it, and it's got Mickey Rourke.
Oh.
And I don't want to be mean, but I'm going to be mean anyway, because we all know it's not a secret that he's had some work done and he just looks a mess. But that's kind of what the trailer looks like to me. It kind of looks like his face. It looks a mess, and you can't turn away because you're looking at this thing that just doesn't make like sense on the surface, but maybe it's going to be great. I don't know. But basically this girl comes home to visit her dad, and her dad was murdered. And I guess she's just a really tough girl because she's got a nose ring. I guess that makes her tough. And then she carries around a hatchet that used to belong to her dad. And she basically just goes on this quest to find out what happened to her dad, who killed her dad, with her hatchet. And you see her attacking people and getting in fights with her hatchet, which none of it looks believable, but still at the same time, there's something about it that just makes you can't turn away because it just looks like this shouldn't be happening, but it is. And then you have Mickey Rourke as I guess he's a sheriff, but I think he's supposed to be this cooler than life sheriff, and I think the trailer kind of gives it away that he's probably the main villain in it or something. And I don't know. It just looks a mess, like I said. But at the same time, you can't look away because you're like, what is this? I got to know what's going on. So that's my trailer. It's called Girl.
I like that she said, this trailer looks as messed up as he does. Oh, boy.
Sorry, Mickey.
He understands, I'm sure. Oh, man. But yeah, so after very fun trailers, that'll bring us to the Train to Busan presents Peninsula. Watchbot, if you would not mind.
A soldier and his team battle hordes of post-apocalyptic zombies in the wastelands of the Korean peninsula.
Thank you, Watchbot. Now, the Fast and the Furious did this whole presents thing with Hobbs and Shaw, and it didn't go over so well. Mm-hmm. But okay, so I don't know if you guys have heard. This was one of our trailers when it first came around, and I had predictions about this movie. They were that this is going to be all of a sudden we go from this heartfelt, amazing zombie action movie to just a straight up action movie zombie thing, and I think I was pretty accurate on that. Not in a bad way, but at the same time, I what did Mickey say to Rocky? You got no heart, kid. There's no heart.
Yeah.
I think there were some missed opportunities here, especially seeing as how the casting was, what the casting was, and the situations were what the situations were. But, yeah. What do you think of this one?
Again, like, I don't know why they had to tag on the Train to Busan, because it doesn't really feel completely like a sequel to me. I mean, maybe the same universe, yeah, sure, but it doesn't really feel like a sequel. So that's my first problem with it. My second issue with it is I got pulled out of the movie every time there was a car scene.
Yes,
because they were so heavily CG'd, and the rate that they were moving seemed off a bit, to where it seemed not, I don't want to say comical, but it looked fake. And I think nowadays, as good as CG can get, we can, and why not just use an actual car? Why not just, do real life stunts? I know it's more, I don't know if it's more expensive now or less, but I think a movie will definitely benefit from some real effect, as opposed to completely CG'd, nonsense like we got in this one. So every time there was a car scene, it kind of pulled me out, because I'm just like, this just doesn't feel right. It feels like I'm playing a really well-made video game, instead of watching a movie. So that bothered me. Some positive notes, though, the zombies, I still love the way they move. Like, it's almost like they're doing this weird breakdancing, get up off the ground thing when they, become a zombie. And I love that visual.
Especially that first one.
Yeah, the first one was the best one.
He legit did a flip.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just like the deer.
Get up off of your feet.
Yes, that's perfect description. Just like in the first one with the deer that gets up, it's similar to that. It has that feel like you're really watching something different from that. And I will say your description was correct. It doesn't have heart like the first one did. The first one just knocks it out of the park. This one does have an emotional, story. It's more centralized on the main character and redemption, but I have a problem with that. Even though it's a quieter way of doing it, not going full blown. People are dying and you got to deal with the loss and all that stuff. It's more what's this character going to do later in the movie versus what he did at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, but
I don't like that that was the focus of it, even though it's okay. I didn't like that was the focus, because anybody in his situation in the beginning of that movie would have done the same thing. He would have closed that door. He's not going to go try to save his sister while she's surrounded by zombies. There's no way he would have been able to pull that off, even though you see how good he is later in the movie.
Especially with with her situation, like she's literally watching her son die. There's no.
She's not going to get up. Yeah, she's not going to get up and run. She's going to try to hold on to her son, because she's just not. Yeah. There was nothing he could have done, and I know that tore at him. Like the character, I know it tore at him in the entire movie. He wished he could have saved her, and then he gets a chance at redemption at the end of the movie. But still, no. I don't think he did anything wrong at the beginning. I think he did exactly what he saved a whole bunch of people on the boat from, those zombies by closing that door. Yep.
Agreed. There was not, and then fuck his brother-in-law, for giving him guilt trips through the whole thing. Like, what do you want to do? Like you said, what am I supposed to do? Like, let the entire boat die? But yeah. So here's my biggest problem with this, and I'm going to skip way ahead here. we get introduced to two new characters who you mentioned driving the cars. Now, those could have easily connect. I made the mistake. I'm going to jump back here. I made the mistake of watching the first one right before I watched this one. Mm-hmm. And I say mistake because that very well could have been like, how old was that littlest girl? What would you say? 5, 6? I don't know.
Yeah, somewhere in there, maybe 6 or 7.
6 or 7. Okay. Why couldn't that have been the pregnant chick and the surviving daughter of the part 1?
Yeah, that would have made more sense to connect the movies together. I just didn't feel like they really described. Did they actually throw the dates up of how much time passed between the events? Because it just seemed like that, They said
4 years.
For just 4 years? That didn't seem it doesn't seem right to me that those kids would be that age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That seemed off too. So I was trying to figure that one out myself, but I was like, I'll just let it go. It's a zombie movie. I'm thinking too hard.
Because where was that lady only had one kid, and it's like 4 years later. Now she has this other 5 to 6 year old and a teenager.
A teenager who can drive. Yeah, it's like kind of strange. And I didn't like how he instantly recognized her.
Yeah,
he's like, oh, maybe it's training. I don't know. But he just instantly connected everything and was like, oh, bloop, that's her.
Yeah, 4 years later. Oh my God, that's the lady I fucked over.
Yeah. And he didn't look the same either from when he had, short hair.
I had no fucking idea that was the same guy when they woke him up in the bed.
Yep.
I was like, oh, okay, some new kid. But then, yeah, and I was like, what? Yep. Like he looked skinnier. He looked, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to love this movie like I loved the first one. I really loved the first one, but it was just too many inconsistencies. And it was so much more like, I know we're dealing with zombies here, but it's so much more far-fetched. Mm-hmm. Like, what is the fucking pyramid zombie thing?
I did like that they tried to add in like a little post-apocalyptic thing, I did enjoy that part, which is fine. And the trailer was good. I mean, but the movie just didn't deliver what the trailer was. I mean, the trailer, of course, gave you every little tidbit that you wanted to see to watch the movie, but it didn't tell you about the story and everything else that you're going to have to sit through and tolerate, to get through this one.
I don't know.
I have another really big issue.
Oh, go ahead.
The villains. I thought the commander dude, not the main guy who was a leader, who was a drunk, I guess, but the other guy, I thought he was decent. He was evil. He made sense. He was a thinker. He wasn't just a blind like following commander or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the main dude, I can't remember what they called him. Maybe he was a general or if he was called the commander and the other guy was somebody else. I don't know. But the main dude,
the guy, the guy who was drinking in the office.
Mm-hmm.
He was the captain.
The captain. Okay, the captain was almost, I don't want to say, he's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything at all except for just like drink and feel sorry for himself and then pretend to be in charge when he kind of really wasn't. And then he gets the opportunities, like he finds all this money, which is useless to them, right? Mm-hmm. But he could have used that, yes, to get off of that peninsula, but he has a freaking army. He could have taken that money, used it as a trap, used his army, which was more like larger than the force that was on the boat, to get on the boat and get out of there. But instead of doing what would make sense for a captain to do for his men, he tries to just escape himself. Knowing, and of course, everybody knew there's no way those guys were going to split the money with him. The original people who went over, or him, they were just going to kill him. I knew that from the very beginning. It was so obvious. But the fact that he was so dumb to do that and then get on there and expect to, actually get off that peninsula when he should have just used his men to force himself off it just didn't make sense to me.
I agree.
And I didn't even feel like the zombies were evil, like were bad in this movie. I think the zombies were just like the environment. This is the world they live in now, so they weren't really bad or good. They were just there. It's like a storm. It's like you avoid a storm if you can. If you see a tornado coming, you get out of the way. I mean, that's why, you know what I mean? That's how it felt. They weren't really they weren't really the main focal point of the evil in this movie. It was just the stupidity of the captain.
And how does he become captain? Like,
no.
we come in on this guy about to off himself, and like he's surrounded by these insane people who are all well adjusted. You know, like how is the sergeant not in charge? I don't understand.
Yes,
but yeah,
I'm surprised he just didn't take control, because that's the kind of way it seemed that he was going to do.
Yeah. Because he threatens the disabled guy. He's like, if you go talking to the captain one more time, I'll kill you both. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Why don't you just do that?
Exactly. You're in a post-apocalyptic world. You have control. Why not just take it?
Yeah, clearly the men favor you more. Like, go ahead and just do that.
The captain just hid in his office and drank. So I don't even know how he was the captain.
Was he like Oz? Like, because they're like, we haven't seen him in years or whatever. You know?
Must be. And I don't know if that's the best form of entertainment.
The fighting?
Making the people run, because you got zombies and you're encamping. Yeah. And what always happens when you have a zombie? One of them gets out.
Well, apparently.
And then all of them gets out.
Apparently, you somehow glue them all together and make them a zombie pyramid monster thing, which I did not understand.
Yeah, it looked cool, but again, it just was just for the visual effect, not because it was useful.
Yeah, another zombie pushes a guy on it, and I'm like, I just thought they were a pile running out at first, but I was like, oh, they are literally just a zombie pyramid. Oh man, yeah, I don't understand that specific form of entertainment. It made no sense to me. I mean, it was entertaining to watch. I guess that's yeah. I found out the other day that there's a night MMA. Like, they have swords and shields and they just beat the crap out of each other. So who am I to judge what they do in the post-apocalyptic world?
Very true.
I do like the carryovers of like the whole zombie can't see at night thing, because that was a big part in part one. You know, they couldn't see when they went through the tunnels, and they made it up. It kind of just exploded that bigger. But any standout moments for you in this?
I can't. Everything that was standout was in the trailer. I mean, the trailer was a standout moment for me.
Yeah,
well, not the movie. It's just, I don't know. And I'm not saying this movie is like unwatchable or bad. It just it doesn't connect to the Train to Busan, the original. It has a lot of issues. It's a good, if you want to have a couple drinks with your buddies and watch something dumb, this works. But if you're looking for the depth that you got from the first one, you're not going to get it here.
Not at all. Not at all. That first one was something special. This one was like, okay, I've done that. Now let's have some fun. It kind of makes me sad, because I was so looking forward to this being better. What does old Rotten Tomatoes say?
Old Rotten Tomatoes said, well, it's got a 53% tomato meter, little green splat. And the audience score, though, is a 76%.
Oh.
So, okay. I mean, like I said, it's a good little, if you want to just hang out with your buddies and drink a couple brewskis and watch a zombie movie. I just wish it wasn't called Train to Busan Presents.
Yeah.
If you could just take that off of there, I would probably not have as big of a problem, because as soon as I see that, I think of the first movie, the epicness of it, and it's just amazing. And this just doesn't. I mean, it's like, no, it doesn't deliver in that realm. So just calling it something else, I think, would have helped it.
Because as you said,
more than hurt it.
Other than them in the same spot, it doesn't really, and they're not even the same spot. They mention that first incident, So.
And I don't mind the lower key type emotional story, a little story of redemption. That's, we all feel that sometimes. I wish I could do something different. That's relatable. But I guess we already spoiled the heck out of the movie, but I guess the happier ending, I also didn't really enjoy so much. I feel like more people should have died.
He's got no heart, kid.
Yeah, more people, and I hate to say that, but more people should have died. This is a zombie movie. More people should have died. Not just people you want. You knew one. You knew the guy. One of the guys who died was obviously going to die, the sacrificial lamb. You know, but even the main villain, of course, he was going to die. Who cares? They didn't. You didn't care about him. So you got to care about him first, and then you kill him. That's how you get a positive rating.
Little Game of Thrones.
Just imagine if like just imagine if the little girl would have died.
Which I thought she would have after getting hit, dead on by a fucking SUV on her side. But,
right. Even the mom, I guess if the mom would have died, I think that would have been
that scene. And this is going major spoiler territory. That scene was so drawn out and stupid. No, Mama, don't do it. Cut to mom. Grab gun. This is going to change. Cut to mom. No. Now my chance to save someone who I didn't know. Like, come on, speed this shit up. Do it or not. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
It would have been more striking if in that event she did die, and then he was like, he didn't try to save her. Maybe even shot her just so to put her out of her misery, so that she doesn't get eaten by the zombies. Just because he realizes you can't save everybody.
Yep.
That would have been more of a shock at the end of it. Be like, oh crap, I can't believe they did that. Why they, that would have been something. But I don't know. That's just me.
Peninsula. I'm not even going to say the first part anymore. It's just Peninsula. Oh man, go watch it out for you, sir.
Like I said, if you want to just kill some time, otherwise, no. I don't think it lives up to the first. Not that it necessarily should, but you put that name on there, I feel like you need to. So I think
it should.
Yeah, I say no. I'm gonna go no.
I think if you've never seen the first one, jump right into this one. I think you'll have a great time. But if you've seen the first one and expect that same magic, it's not there, sadly. But yeah, that's Train to Busan presents. I'm sorry, that's Peninsula. Forget the first part. Where you can find us? You can find us at gowatchamovie.com, the one-stop shop for all things entertainment. The stories are there. The podcast is there. I don't know if I should put Robert's trailer there. He didn't sound too happy about it.
You know what? Everybody should watch it. Just voice your own opinion. Yeah. Bella Thorne is a good actress. I think she's good. I think she does a good job. Water. I don't hate Mickey Rourke. I just don't like. I just don't like to look at him. But he does a good job.
Yeah, Bella's in some hot water. She's apparently screwing over sex workers, but that's another story.
Yeah. didn't know about that.
Anyway, that's episode 155. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Go watch a movie. Grab your popcorn, rip that ticket, get in that seat, lickety split it. Go watch a movie.